Welcome everyone to D23 weekend, where Disney goes and shows off all of the different IPs they have and several different projects related to every single IP. We previously already covered all the announcements from the Pixar side of the presentation. In future, we're going to briefly poke on the things that aren't technically theirs, like Simpsons, Bluey, and Ice Age. But right now, we're focusing in on the Disney animation side of the Disney announcements. And though Pixar comes with highs and lows, depending on where you stand on things, Disney has, well, actually also highs and lows, but a very notable low in the center. Let's talk about Hexed, shall we? This is the current mainline Disney original, and also the current Disney punching bag. Still not nearly as bad as Shrek 5, but even still, pretty damn bad. When we last covered the trailer for this movie, I really wasn't that enticed. I think it's quite a generic looking movie, and the marketing is a little weird. We still haven't really seen the main parent character who keeps showing up in the synopses of this. So when you imagine the D23 announcement of Hexed, the next closest new Disney movie to come out, you'd think there'd be a big marker about it, some sort of trailer, stuff to see. No, even on the marketing front, other than the fact that the first trailer has an awful chunk of central footage that looks like it's built for vertical, and you know, that, which comes with its complaints as well. The main thing we have on trying to sell Hex to us just a few months earlier on a main stage is to show off celebrity casting. We now have Jodie Foster as Queen Celeste, who has a quote from this presentation that goes, "I've never voiced a character in a Disney film until now." Wow, yeah. Yeah, I guess that is true. Can't wait to see the movie now. Oh, but then on the other side of things, we have another character here. A character and a celebrity casting. I know all Disney movies are going to have celebrity casting. It's more the fact that that's all there is to, like, highlight this movie so far. All they've done on this stage is say, hey, here it is. People you know, come see our movie. As we now have Walton Goggins on stage as Beef Roger. Interesting name. I'm going to be honest, it feels like some sort of British genitalia pun. Like, just change Roger to Todger, and it's like, okay, great. It's Beef Todger. It's where my brain goes. I don't know what that says about me. Even still, the quote we've got from him from the presentation is, "What kind of part would a guy like me play?" I don't know. Apparently it's a three-eyed green cat with a pink coat that's a sidekick to Queen Celeste, the villain. Also, he befriends the protagonist. Now, hey, maybe there's a chance that there was like a mainline trailer and just every coverage I tried to find online simply doesn't show it. But I still do think it's a very interesting case of marketing, you know? I feel like there's better marketing in all the projects that aren't the mainline focus of the company. You know what I mean? Like, I would assume Hexed is the next mainline original. And that first teaser trailer, you know, was trying its best. It just unfortunately didn't look good. But then for this announcement here, it's let's see the casting? I don't know. There's a few other later Disney announcements that are also, let's just look at the celebrity casting, and clearly that must infer that it works. Maybe that is all the generic audience wants to see. That's like, oh, I don't care what we're doing, just show me who's in it. And that's it? I don't know. Oh, but we do also have like a poster of Hexed. Here it is. Yeah. Something is happening to Billy. Really? Wow. That is generally a movie's premise. Something is happening to character. Plot ensues. I don't know, man. And that's all there is to see. I got one other note here that tells me when the release date is. That's all there is. I'm honestly quite baffled that's the marketing strategy. Especially from like a project that's, you know, got negative reception. You'd think they'd maybe put in a little more effort to swing in a different direction. Maybe they didn't have time. Maybe this was already planned so many months in advance they don't have something ready. But it comes out November 25th this year. That's my final note on this movie. Shall we move on? I suspect there will be another mainline trailer later this month. There's probably a lot of trailers coming out over the next 2 or 3 weeks after D23. That's usually the routine. So hey, also, if you want to see that day one when it comes out and get my thoughts on it, you know what to do. You probably already have. So let's move on to another Disney project, and this one I'm way more on board with. This is how you market a new movie. See, what they also announced is Clay. Hey there, thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already for other animated D23 news. As we said earlier, we've done all sorts of Pixar, and we're gonna do all sorts of the other Disney animated stuff soon. And there's some real diamonds in the rough as well, like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. But we'll get there when we get there. Now to the second half of this video. See, what they also announced is clay. I am a little tired of every Disney and Pixar movie practically being a one-word title, but hey, that's just the trend these days. Even still, it's the new original from Disney that's not hexed, and I'm on board with that. I want to as well keep an open mind until I see something that throws me off, probably the normal way to approach these things. So here's what there is to know. The first thing they really want you to know is that Kieran Culkin is the one in the starring role, but to be fair, we love that dude. Am I falling for it? Either way. The synopsis says it follows a terrible mentor who must look after a newborn ball of clay, which I must say is awfully original, and it is interesting actually. It is interesting to see what different options and angles Disney and Pixar try to take with a new story. Obviously there's the big collection of princess movies that is kind of its own genre that they run with, but it's especially interesting when you look a little layer under and think of the thematics that it's running with, you know, family and mundanity, aging and grief, a lot of family stuff. I guess that makes a lot of sense. But this one here is specifically leading on the idea of mentoring, which clearly is a thing quite close to the heart of the artists at Disney. Also, it's not lost on me that the newborn is a ball of clay, you know, something you mold and make art out of, or otherwise mold a child in your image. Nice. Already, thematically, visually, I'm loving the parallels here. This is art right here, and not just because there's a ball of clay in the middle of it. Kieran voices a character called Flip, the world's worst mentor, tasked with mentoring this little ball called Mushy, described as being maybe a little in over his head. And judging by the concept art we see, there's a really nice aesthetic here. It looks demonstrably different. Of course, we'll have to see how it comes out in actual 3D realm, and maybe it's gonna have a lot of that, hexed face going for it. I can see it already. Overly expressive. Oddly, the thing that jumps out to me, and it's probably been said a whole bunch because it's kind of stark, is it feels very Rayman of all things. I mean, he does have his whole limbs, so maybe not fully Rayman, but it's a style you don't see much in film, so I'm absolutely on board with seeing something as visually distinctive as this. Considering it's the same time where in recent years people have dogged on Pixar for having that same kind of look against all their movies, it is nice to see something so different here. And you can see what it's going for. A luscious, gentle-looking world with a baby going off on one. Stretchy arms because it's made of clay, but also there's a dangerous world out there he's got to protect them from. Classic good. I love that. That really comes together nicely. It's such a strong idea, and you don't even have to see anything moving to see that. Yeah, this Flip character really does also look like a video game character. Like, I feel like he looks kind of Jax and Daxter-y as well. Somehow Ratchet and Clank. It's a very specific look, but I'm on board with that. That looks visually interesting to me. The extended descriptive quote we have from the presentation goes, "We have a rich history of stories that celebrate inspiring mentors and their aspirational students. So with that in mind, we asked ourselves one very important question. What if the next Disney mentor stunk?" And he does. And his name is Flip, and he has chosen to be his village's next great mentor and is assigned his first student, a literal ball of clay born that very moment, named Mushy. So like all inspiring mentors, Flip runs away in the middle of the night, only to discover that Mushy is inescapable and pure chaos. And now, out in the wild, Flip must keep Mushy alive on a journey through a fantastical forest. Great. Classic. You see the conflict of looking after a vulnerable baby, very Ice Age 1. Though ironically, the Ice Age 1 baby looks like the guy from Ghost Market. And I'm really curious to see how the thematics of mentorship is really going to be explored here, since that's clearly something the Disney people really want to explore. Releasing in the Hex slot, but just 2 years later, November 2028 now, this looks like a Disney original that's a hook, line, and sinker to me. I think the premise is so strong, the visual art style is stark and outstanding, and comparing it to the likes of Hexed of all things, I think it is night and day which one will come out with the quality. I only hope it comes out financially the same in that order. And I guess you can never tell these days with Disney. The Lion King remake made boatloads of money, and so did Lilo and Stitch. But then again, Zootopia 2 did massively as well, so who knows. Speaking of Zootropolis, we'll be covering that next. But at least for now, I'm gonna put a pin in it there. That is how you should and shouldn't do marketing for an original Disney project, at least according to me. But on that note, I shall finally end things off there. My name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell us your thoughts on all things clay and hexed. You same as me? Or do you hate both? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more. But otherwise, I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio!